distinct contrast South Dakota is to Grambling. I didn't think that we handled it very well in the first half. I think they're very well coached. I think they have distinct roles on their team. I think that it caused us problems. They have two guys that can score with their back to the basket. We didn't handle that very well in the first half. But I thought that once we began to have a little bit of poise in what we were doing, not just offensively but defensively, we looked a lot better than we had been early in the game. So glad that we had an opportunity to play more guys. I think it may be the most unselfish team that I've ever been around as an assistant or as a head coach. Four guys that handle the ball the most for us, had 18 assists and 3 turnovers. Our assist-to-turnover ratio has been outstanding, and we've played 120 minutes, I guess 160 minutes now, 160 minutes of zone. That's healthy in some ways and may not be healthy in other ways when we see man-to-man for the first time on Thursday afternoon.
Did the timing of this game concern you at all with the youth of the team and the fact that you got to turn around and basically 36 hours later got to play Xavier?
Well, similar to what I said on the radio show the other night, you know, everybody wants to play in an exempt event. We were in this event prior to me even being hired as an assistant. Every coach wants to play in an exempt event for the games, for the opportunity to win those games, and because there's so many postseason tournaments now, all of that is somewhat tied together. It's a vicious cycle. The only game that I have scheduled is the North Carolina State game, and where you run into problems is we're always going to play Wisconsin every year, home and away. When are our finals? When are Wisconsin's finals? When is North Carolina State's week of finals? That's kind of that's the short version of why it's all played itself out the way that it has. It'll be an early morning in the morning, but I mean, it worked out well as it relates to the minutes. But no, it doesn't concern me.
Do you feel like the guys, I mean, obviously you won by a big margin, but were you concerned at all with maybe them looking ahead to that? It's obviously a big event and everything. Sometimes it happens.
No, and I don't mean that in an egotistical way. I can't look ahead, nor, and you know that, nor do I ever even think about looking ahead, and I sure don't coach looking ahead. So, no, I don't think so. I think our guys are doing the best they can to comprehend what I'm asking them to do and then to try to execute what I ask them to do. And they're getting better. They're processing it as quickly as they can. Some of it's somewhat overwhelming to them at times, but they're doing a good job, and those 3 seniors are doing an excellent job.
Coach, you've got to be pleased with the outside shooting tonight, but did you feel like the team worked the ball inside enough?
We had 48 paint touches. That's an unofficial number. We want the number to be 52, but we did have more possessions of non-paint touches than normal, partly because it's a zone, partly because we probably took 2 more bad shots than we typically take. Our shooting percentage is much better when we get a paint touch. And what happened tonight was we had more possessions on offense because we created more possessions from our defense. And I think anytime your defense turns into offense, you typically are going to shoot a higher percentage. And then when that transpires and you get a paint touch coupled with your defense turning into offense, I think you're really going to shoot a high percentage.
How does the loss of Chris affect this team on the court?
I think it hurts us. Obviously, we don't have anybody else that looks like him. We don't have anybody else that can play like him. And he was never going to be a guy that was going to, I don't think he'll ever be a guy that's just going to be a great, let's throw it to him, go get one. But I think he can occupy his defender. And I think that there were some baskets on Saturday that he created because he can seal. And I think that he gives us a guy inside that at least he's got some mass. At least he's got an opportunity to alter a shot. So I think that there were a lot of residual positive effects to what he gave our team, not just his stat line. And I think that it does hurt us, yes.
Did it